Someone explain why women are so upset that I made a video saying that you should definitely wake up your man every morning with a... Because when I went viral, I made a video insisting on how to make a man happy by giving it to them when they want.
Honestly, men are physical creatures, and you do need to satisfy your man.
The next thing I know, I got all these angry women telling me that I'm disgusting or that's how you get cheated on.
Wait.
I thought the whole reason for getting married was because you love someone, and when you love someone, wouldn't you want to do anything in your power to make their day better?
Even though these two ladies are spicy content creators, the truth is always the truth, regardless of where you hear it. It's just a shame it's coming from ladies who, and I'm being generous, likely have the ethics of a cash register, money-hungry and greedy. However, many modern women would not appreciate their suggestions on how to treat a man because it includes standards of behavior that most would be unwilling or unable to meet.
Now, don't be silly. I don't hate men. I've just realized in my entire 31 years of existence here as an American cis-het woman that I don't need a man. Y'all are unreliable as so.
Microfeminisms that I implement in my relationship.
Hell no!
Welcome to the Everyman Show.
What I want to talk about right now is the role of a man these days, especially when it's concerned with money. Traditionally, women have had to rely on men to be the provider. These days, women they're doing their own thing. Women are empowered, they're going to school more than ever, they're getting education more than ever, they're paying their own bills more than ever. I guess my question is, do women want a man or do women need a man?
I think that the question is a quality of life question. Can I survive by myself? Yes. Would that be a good quality of life? Absolutely not. It would be miserable.
I like this one.
It could be argued that modern women don't want a man. Rather, they want a fairy tale paid for by a man and no accountability for their ownership in how the relationship failed.
Boo.
However, this lady has a more traditional mindset by recognizing that the question, do women want a man or do women need a man, pertains to quality of life. Can she survive without a man? Yes. Like all women in the West, she has the autonomy to do so, but she'd be miserable.
Most young women are taught badly that the most important thing that they'll do in their life is their career, and that's simply not true.
Of all the untruths feminism holds, the idea that career success is more fulfilling than marriage and family is by far the most egregious, because careers aren't fulfilling at all if you come home to an empty apartment and wind up in bed at night alone.
Fact.
Here's another spicy content creator justifying her career choice as a response to being informed she'll never have a boyfriend.
If I never get a boyfriend because of what I do for work, then I'm okay with that. You know why? Because all my bills are paid.
It starts to get pretty lonesome in life after 45 if you don't have a family.
I have 2 vehicles. Not only are my bills paid, but after my bills are paid, I still have money to do whatever I want.
You're going to live till you're 90 in all likelihood, and it's not easy to consider your life across its entire span. And there's something to be said for developing a very close-knit, intimate community around you if you can manage it. You have children and then you have grandchildren.
If she doesn't want a boyfriend, which often leads to marriage and children, then meaningful connections elsewhere are vital. She needs more than money and 2 vehicles to stave off being lonesome. Learning to think in decades rather than minutes, hours, and days is always going to yield better results, because life disproportionately rewards the people who operate on the longer time frame.
That's right.
So, if being financially stable and making more money than most people my age results in me not getting a boyfriend, I'm okay with it.
It's definitely been the case for me that my family has been more and more important to me as I've got older, and I don't think that that's an uncommon experience.
Never underestimate a modern woman's ability to rationalize her bad decisions. To the morally bereft, easy money has a very strong appeal. The fact that she's a spicy content creator in the first place suggests she's nowhere near considering her life in its entire span, as Jordan Peterson suggested. Because simply having adult content for all to see has likely altered the complete trajectory of her life for the worse, since building a strong, healthy family is significantly less likely. One day, she might realize that all money is not good money.
I also think that the language around woman empowerment is so condescending. Boss babe, you can do it yourself. It's like you're talking to a baby.
Female empowerment phrases like boss babe, girl power, self-partnering, and a woman needs a man like a fish needs a bicycle are not only condescending, but they also buy into the myth of total female self-sufficiency.
Subvert the patriarchy.
However, these ladies here, for example, might have benefited from a strong, honorable man in their lives to direct or help them in their moment of need.
Jocelyn, be careful. There's a sharp curve coming up. Hold on to the water.
No, yep. No, Bella was going under there.
What the f did you do? Ashley, what the f did you do? Do you know how to call dad? Call dad. I'm serious. Call dad. I don't know what you do to my heart.
And the tendency to overestimate the likelihood of you achieving success and underestimate the likelihood of you experiencing unfavorable outcomes, misfortune or hardships, is known as optimism bias.
I'm willing to bet that women made up those terms, not men.
I don't dispute that at all.
Okay.
I think that the modern feminist movement is the cause of a lot of sexism,
100%.
both directed at men and women, which is why I had a really hard time letting go of the term feminist, because obviously I want, women to be empowered into whatever, but I find that it just does not fit how I feel. For the longest time, I was rebelling against who I am to try and appease this feminist idea of I can work and I can be independent.
What? She likely found it hard to let go of the term feminist, because many people still ascribe the dictionary definition of the advocacy of women's rights on the basis of the equality of the sexes to the word.
That's okay, I don't listen to women.
But this definition can only accurately be applied to first and second wave feminism, which relates more to equalism. However, modern feminism is a different beast. It could be argued that third and fourth wave feminism is more interested in female supremacy rather than sexual equality.
Welcome to Handsome Her, where women reign supreme.
This is called the Wall of Dames, so it's a wall of inspirational women.
Owner Alexandra O'Brien calls it a space for women by women, with priority seating for females and an extra tax for men.
1 week out of every month we have an 18% premium for men, which is the same amount as the gender pay gap.
I think it's fair if you think about the world and the gender inequality that we have.
I think it's a brilliant idea because I don't think that many people know the actual gap.
Wait.
The gender pay gap is simply the difference between the average earnings of all men and women working full-time. It doesn't account for differences in occupations, positions, education, job tenure, or hours worked per week. When such relevant factors are considered, the wage gap narrows to the point of vanishing. So it's really an earnings gap. Plus, it's illegal to pay men more than women based on gender.
What? The tax is optional, but so far, none of the cafe's male customers have refused to pay it.
I could wear that, considering that there is a it's a fairly unequal pay gap between men and women. Even though there is supposedly equal pay, it doesn't really equate out there.
What in God's holy name are you blathering about?
Staff say the gender tax isn't aimed at excluding people, but rather educating them, with proceeds going to charity.
If people aren't comfortable with paying it or men don't want to pay it, we're not going to kick them out the door. It's just a good opportunity to do some good.
What? Not surprisingly, this cafe went out of business. Regarding the podcast clip, when modern women use the word empowered, they're often using it as a way to justify immoral or bad behavior. And of course, a lady can work a job and be independent, but doing so should come with a warning label.
I just wanted to share this with you guys. The title pretty much says it all.
Childless women aged 35 and up are binge drinking more, say addiction experts.
Besides that, we already know that 45% of women are estimated to be childless and single by the year 2030. That's not that far away.
Published in the journal Addiction, the study found that women who turned 35 in recent years, as well as women who've not had children by 35 years old, are the subgroups of women at the highest risk of binge drinking and having alcohol use disorder symptoms.
My freshman year of college, I was kind of like a mess. Like, I just was always overdoing it and always being the one that was blackout drunk, like always throwing up and just being a mess. And I could not figure out why I kept getting like that. I'm like, oh my God, I'm not even drinking that much. Yes, I was. And I just didn't realize how much I was drinking.
But I had a serious drinking problem because every time I drank, something bad happened.
In college, I essentially got a 4-year degree in binge drinking. You know what I mean? I got a minor in hookup culture. You know what I'm saying?
When I drink a gin and tonic, I have 100 gin and tonics.
I gave up drinking because I woke up in one too many beds that were not my own on accident.
I did really, really crazy things when drinking.
But drinking like that, binge drinking party culture, takes away your creativity, your energy, your money, your time, everything. And also, it makes you friends with people that you probably wouldn't really be friends with otherwise.
I love this message for the college-aged girlies or anyone still participating in binge drinking. Maybe well into their 30s too.
Alcohol, I didn't know this, blocks our ability to hear our intuition. So when I stopped drinking, my decision making, just personally and in business, became so heightened. Things started happening so much faster. My life really shifted.
You have earned a fling with a random dude.
When fact-checking the subgroups of women at the highest risk of binge drinking and having alcohol use disorder symptoms, I found a telling quote from a strong, modern, independent woman. I get why childless women of this age drink hard and fast. When I look back on my drinking days, I realize a lot of it was to drown out the mildly panicked feeling that I'd never settle down and have children. A bottle of wine turned down the irritating tick-tock of the biological clock. That's the real reason why by day I was writing speeches about economic policy and advising the then Prime Minister David Cameron, but by night was polishing off a week's worth of units before bedtime.
When someone tells you that your clock is ticking, tell them damn right, I'm the bomb.
The Nile ain't just a river in South America.
For my birthday, all I ever wanted was someone to do this for me. So I ended up doing it myself, and it looks pretty wearing it. You know, like you're ran for it. One day I'll be loved enough to have a man do that for me.
Woo! We would all do well to remember that alcohol is another tool of mass control. But as always, ignorance is the path to ruin. Whatever you can't say no to is your master and makes you its slave.
One of the most unattractive things you could do for yourself is to not be disciplined. Like, when I see that, I'm like, wow, that person can't even have control over their mind and their decisions that they make. They just do whatever. Like, imagine that. Imagine that.
Your brain and body are terrible things to waste because we know what that can lead to.
Depression and loneliness.
There's a huge feminist lie that you're going to be happy if you have a career and if you are a boss babe and like and I don't want to be a pick-me girl. That's not why I'm saying this. If you want to have your career, you go for it. But I noticed for myself that I was doing that against my nature.
Bingo.
She says there's a huge feminist lie that you're going to be happy if you have a career and if you're a boss babe. And there are many more of these untruths posited by feminism. Women can have it all. Men and women are fundamentally the same. Desirability is enhanced by female achievement, the biological clock isn't real, and that women would enjoy the feminization of men are just several more I've not yet mentioned.
Here's a controversial take. I think being friends with girls sucks. And so many people will be like, oh my gosh, she's a pick-me.
And for the modern women who have postponed marriage and childbearing to pursue their career goals, this next video should be viewed as a cautionary tale, a forewarning that to go against your nature might have undesired consequences.
Does this make me a psychopath or just a little bit different? Every day, around 3 p.m., I walk to the stop sign. And when I get to the stop sign, I stand and I wait with all the other mothers in the neighborhood. And we wait for the school bus. When the school bus arrives, all the kids get off and cling to their respective mothers. And we stand around for a bit, exchange pleasantries, and I smile a pleasant smile.
Oh my God!
And then I walk back home without a child because I'm not a mother. So none of those kids on the bus would be mine. But I enjoy feeling like I'm a part of something bigger than myself.
Bruh.
It may be like someone needs me, even if it's just an imaginary child.
Right. Someone needs to inform this lady that if she wants more than an imaginary child and to feel like she's part of something bigger than herself, she will indeed 100% need a man for that.
Later.
I didn't stand a chance.
If you enjoyed this video, then here are some more you might appreciate. Please consider liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing to help the channel out. Until next time, goodbye for now.